Hey wannabes, it's Brian, the B-Man from chillinwithb1.blogspot.com. And thanks for joining me for the first ever Gaming with B episode. That's right, first ever. Yes, I put out recordings pretty much on a weekly basis, but I think I want to start to split things up. I've done things like that in the past where I just focus on one particular segment or another. But in general, my podcasts are usually just a mix of things. What I'm watching, what I'm playing, news and different various media outlets. But I want to try and stay more focused on subjects so you can listen to what you want. If you're into gaming, you'll have a gaming thing. If you're into TV or movie stuff, you'll have that. So this will be the first ever Gaming with B. It is attached to the Chill with B podcast, regular thing. But I may do a separate feed for that as well. Just want to let you know. And this week we're going to talk a little about what games are coming out, some news, what I'm playing. And the big game coming out next week, I think will be a bulk of what I talk about. But I am so excited and I can't wait. Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited comes out next week, June 9th, for the consoles. And it's already been out for over a year on the PC. I have played it, but it has definitely changed. It's evolved over the year. It's gotten better. I didn't think it was bad to begin with when I first got it last summer, but it's definitely improved. And we'll get into some of that later on. I'm not going to start the recording of that. We're going to jump into some news stories first, having to do with video games. So with that little bit of an intro out of the way, if you want to hear about some gaming stuff, stick around and let's get started. Alright, PlayStation owners out there, myself included, I know another game we're all excited about, and it's coming out next year, Uncharted 4. If you've ever played any of those Uncharted games, they're pretty solid adventure games. A lot of fun. Third-person shooters, adventure, treasure hunting kind of thing. I've heard they were going to make a movie at some time. I don't know if that's still going on or not, but the games are pretty solid. I had Uncharted 2, really loved it. I got the one on the PlayStation Vita they gave for free one time. The Vita, I like it. The controls are a little hard for my big hands, so I couldn't play too well. But it looked like a really well-polished game from what I did play of it. But this news has to do with the Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. So, in order to hold us over until they do release Uncharted 4 eventually, they are going to re-release HD remastered versions of the first 3 Uncharted games, and that will be coming this fall. Alright, so it's going to be developed by Blue Point Games, which they previously handled God of War Collection and a Titanfall port of the Xbox 360. They're going to give us all the single-player campaigns of Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, and Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception in 1080p resolution running at 60 frames per second. According to the article I'm reading online, it's saying that they will not include the multiplayer modes, but if you do buy a copy, you will get access to Uncharted 4's multiplayer beta as long as it's active. Alright, so that's kind of cool. Like I said, I had Uncharted 2. I thought the multiplayer was pretty solid, a lot of fun. It will be missed in this game. I'm not going to lie, it was a lot of fun, but it's not needed. Uncharted can survive pretty well on its own. It's a great, fun game. It's one of these games where you're going to do a lot of climbing, parkour stuff. The shooting is pretty well done. And it's really a decent story. It's almost like Indiana Jones. Classic Indiana Jones kind of stuff. So, look forward to that this fall. That's Uncharted 4. So while the Uncharted collection's coming out this fall, and we got Elder Scrolls Online coming out under a week, there's a lot of play. But also this month, we've got another pretty big game coming to the PlayStation 4, and it's free to play. PlanetSide 2 is coming to the PlayStation 4 on June 23rd. It's going to have some new content exclusive to that console, including a new map. The exclusive map is called Koltyr. That's Koltyr. I have no idea how to say it. They're also saying that it's going to have touchpad support, and it's also going to use the share button. So, I don't know if you know what PlanetSide 2 is, but it's a game that actually originated on the PC. It's a very, very giant-scale first-person shooter. It looks a little Halo-ish from what I remember. I did touch it a bit on the computer, not too much. I couldn't really get into it. But I think I might give it a shot. It's free to play. Another cool thing to note is that you do not need a PlayStation membership to play this game. It's free to play, and free to play means free to play. Alright, so look forward to that June 23rd. PlanetSide 2. Alright, it's been all PlayStation talk. Alright, Xbox guys, we didn't forget about you folks out there. Currently, you can now get Steamworld Dig. Now, unfortunately, this has been a game that has been available on the PlayStation for quite some time already. I myself own it, and I like it. It's a lot of fun, good game. And it's just sad that these games couldn't get released simultaneously, but now you do have your chance, and I say go for it. It's an indie game, very Metroidvania-like kind of game, which is one of those games where you explore the map, you get new abilities, you come back to places, and you can go further kind of thing. It's really cool. You play as some kind of like robot-looking thing, and you just keep going down and down, deeper and deeper as you gain new abilities to get you through this parts of these dungeons. So it's a fun game, and that's Steamworld Dig. It is available on the Xbox One at this time, and I say check it out. All right, so what's the B-Man playing this week? Well, I'm pretty much head deep in Destiny, and that's going to probably go on until Elder Scrolls come out in a few days. But yeah, I actually ended up getting both expansion packs for Destiny. Now, The Dark Below came out quite a while back, and I didn't really get it. I heard mixed things about it. But last week, I did get House of Wolves, the second expansion. I really am enjoying the content offered. And then I said, you know what? Let me get the other pack as well. At least it gives me the multiplayer maps and some variation. Sometimes you get like the nightly or weekly strikes and stuff like that, and it has to be content you don't have. Yeah, I know, it's kind of like they're milking us to get content that's already kind of there, but whatever. It's solid content, so yeah, you're paying extra for it, but it's definitely got its money's worth, I'd say. I've put in hours and hours. I'm doing a lot of player versus player stuff in Destiny right now. Currently, they're doing the Iron Banner kind of thing, which is like a limited time player versus player thing where you earn rank and you can get some decent gear. So I've been doing a lot of that, and I started off really bad. I mean, I am terrible at the PvP in Destiny, but I'm coming my way. I think, there's been a few games where I've started rising the charts. I've gone from being always on the bottom of the list to a few times on top or near top. So I think I'm getting a little bit better. I'm still not that good, and I guess the people I'm playing with aren't too good either because I can't remember the last match I've actually won. One of the bounties, which if you don't know what bounties are, they're basically like daily quests you can get. One of them is just win 3 matches, and I've played, I'd say 15 to 20 in the last 24 hours or so, and I only got 1 win. So it's not looking good for me or whoever's on my team. But nonetheless, I am having fun. You earn some gear occasionally. It's random gear generation, and then also you earn some marks. Your reputation goes up. It's fun. It is what it is. Now, granted, like I said over and over again, I'll say it again, Elder Scrolls comes out next week, and if it's as good as I think it's going to be on the console, and if people on my friends list are playing it, it'll probably be my go-to game for a while. But I think I'll still keep with Destiny, at least do a match here and there to spice things up. Also playing a lot of Battlefield 4, got back into that. They had a recent spring update, and it's pretty cool. They adjusted some things, fixed their playlists a bit. Battlefield is what it is. I know people talk down on the Battlefield series, and I know their campaign, single player, isn't always the greatest, but I ain't playing those games for single player campaign. It's great that they have it, but my thing with those games is the multiplayer, and I think Battlefield 4 is solid multiplayer, and I enjoy it a lot. I bought the premium thing a while back, so I have all the maps that they added. There's tons of content involved, and it's good. The only thing I'd say bad about Battlefield is when you're not playing with friends, just random people, and there's like 60 people in the match, but nobody seems to talk to you. Now, granted, you're only talking to people in your squad, which is like a 5-man thing, but nobody ever uses their mic. I mean, there was one game where I was just recording myself talking and going off and just making jokes and stuff. Nobody's around. Nobody responds. So, if you like the lonely thing, that's fine. I think that's a game that'd be much better to play with friends, but seems like all my friends have moved on from that game. So that's what I'm doing. Destiny, Battlefield 4, and eagerly awaiting the Elder Scrolls. So I think we're going to finish up this segment with a little Elder Scrolls talk. I found a link on a website that goes over some things. It says key information, things to know about Elder Scrolls Online, Tamriel Unlimited. So I think we'll go a few of those things, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, so with the what I'm playing out of the way, let's get into a little Elder Scrolls talk. That's coming out this week, or just in a couple of days at the time of this recording. And you know what? You can preload it also. I preloaded it on my PlayStation 4. It took a couple hours. I think it was about 50 gig, if I remember correctly. It's a big game. It is a very big game. It's going to grow over time. That's what these games are. It's an MMO. It's a multiplayer online RPG. So it's very similar to games like Final Fantasy XIV, Final Fantasy Online, 11 and 14, Also World of Warcraft, any of those kind of games. Only this takes place in the Elder Scrolls universe. So if you like the lore and the feeling you get in games like Oblivion and Skyrim, I think you'll like this game. There's going to be different editions you can get when it comes out. I actually paid an extra $10 or so for the Imperial Edition. And one of the major differences with that is it's going to come with a horse, a mount. Now, you don't need to do that. You can definitely buy a mount in-game, but it's going to take you a lot longer. Gold is not the easiest thing to come by, not for me anyway. Maybe some people out there had a different experience, but getting the 10,000 or so gold to get your first mount, it's not easy, especially early levels. Now, endgame, maybe gold comes by a little differently. I don't know. So yeah, I got the Imperial Edition. That comes with the mount, and it's also going to let you play an Imperial character, and you can play pretty much in any faction with that character. So, it gives you a little bit more options, and I think it might be kind of worth it. They also have something called the Explorers Pack. I did not purchase that, but let's see. What comes with the Explorers Pack? It says it gives you more in-game content and more flexibility when creating your character. The Elder Scrolls Online Explorer Pack grants you bonus treasure maps that will help you secure coin and loot, another pet companion, and the ability to choose whatever race you want for whatever alliance you want. It says this is extremely important because if you don't have the Explorers Pack, your options are limited. Damn, I should have bought the Explorers Pack. You see how this game gets you? And I like Elder Scrolls. I played it on the computer, the Elder Scrolls Online. It's a really, really good game. I like it, but this is the only bullshit I will say, is that you have to get all these extra things to get the full features of the game. Once you get those things, though, the game is yours. There shouldn't be any more buying you have to do except for maybe an expansion down the road. But that's another story. Also, you're going to want to know that this is not cross-platform gameplay, whereas games like Final Fantasy XIV was both people on the PlayStation and people on the PC playing together on servers. This is separate. My opinion, that's kind of a good thing. I think console players should play together and PC players should play together separately. The feeling you get with a mouse and keyboard is different than a controller. It gives sort of a different competitive edge in different games depending how good you are with each particular instrument. Even games like Call of Duty and stuff, I'm glad those games are separate because I'm not good with a mouse and keyboard, but I will admit people who are a lot better than people who are with a controller. It's just the way it is. If you are good at using the mouse and keyboard, your precision is going to be much better, and you need less auto-aim help. So, having games on their own platform is good. Also, in titles, that means like everybody on Xbox or PlayStation is going to have their own microphone support. Party chat will work better because you're playing with your friends. I think it's just better that way. There's no monthly fee, so that's a good thing. I mentioned that a few times. Once you buy the game, it is yours to play. There's no monthly fee. There was initially when the game first came out a year ago, but it went free to play earlier this year on PC, and the console versions will come out that way. There is no monthly fee. But you will need to have Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus in order to play. So I'd imagine if you're playing games on consoles, any of these current games, you already have that. Most people these days have an online membership. And that is the consoles doing, not the games doing. So that's pretty much it. That's a quick rundown. The game will come out this Tuesday, June 9th. I am eagerly excited. I actually took the day off from work. That's something I haven't done in a long time for a game. And it comes out, I think it's Tuesday, but I believe it's a midnight release everywhere. So wherever part of the country or world you live in, at 12 o'clock, midnight, you will be able to play this game. So I might take a nap earlier in that evening and then get up at 12 and start playing. Hopefully it goes off without a hitch. But, a lot of times with these big games, there are going to be some issues. There might be bugs. There might be issues, people getting into servers. Hopefully they're prepared for this, and it's a smooth launch. And I'll see you guys online. So if you play on the PlayStation 4 and you want to friend me up, my username is the same as this podcast. It's Chillin' with B. And you can friend request me on the PlayStation 4, and we'll do some adventuring together. All right, guys. This is your first Gaming with B episode. And I hope to see you guys around. Peace out, guys.